Dang. Going for a new bench press PR today. Could I have held it longer? Yeah, potentially. And then I might just close this fully and we'll call that a day. Bang. There we go, boys. $50 into $100. Alright, before this video starts, click the link down below if you want a funded account. You'll get 10% off your next funded account with Alpha Capital Group. And go enjoy the vlog, boys. So not many people know this, but in 2023 I started a clothing brand. Now this was before I had a relationship with Jesus, and I wanted to represent what I personally liked, and I wanted to represent the New Zealand culture. So this is what I came up with. Yeah, crazy, right? Anyways, the brand, whatever. Doesn't matter what happened. Why I'm telling you this today is because of this photo. Now, this was the original mock-up, right? And the other day, when I went back to my parents' house after I moved out, my mum found the original photo. And, yeah, I'll just play the clip. Let me see. Let me see. What? What is that?
Kiwi, weed, bonzo, is it bunny? What's that, huh?
I don't know. It seems like a masterpiece. Ah! Let's get active. Going for a new bench press PR today. 85 kilos. Recap from the last time since I recorded this series. The funded account is in a little bit of drawdown, but nothing that we can't pull ourselves out of. The live account, we've got $50 in there, but yeah, I'm keen to get this PR, bro. Fuck me. Alright, 80 went up pretty easy, which actually is my PR. We're gonna go for 85 now, which I've never actually hit. So I'm kind of nervous, but by the grace of God, we get it. Bro, the hard things are always the most worth doing. Nobody respects the person that always chooses the easy route. I can go on a degenerate version of this, or I can do a basic explanation. Let's go for the degen version first, because most of you guys are probably degenerates or recovering degens. If you were to smoke a cone, and you could either smoke a baby cone or a romper, which one would it be? Or which one would garner more respect? If you sunk the romper, obviously you get more respected, because it's harder to do, because less people can do it. We tend to respect people more who go through difficult things, or who we know have chosen the harder route. Alright, we're currently in shorts on GU right now. Took it on the live account as well as the funded account. To do my daily bias, I entered because we were respecting this 4-hour fair value gap. And then it was sort of like candle range theory. Like we took out the highs up here, so I wanted to see price push towards these lows. And then on the 15 minute, we broke structure to the downside on this purple line right here. On the 5 minute, we broke structure right here. And if we look at structure, it's sort of like we have a Judas swing, right? We take out this low, dump, and then take out the high. And then we can see an area of like inducement, displacement, right? As soon as we push past this low or this low, that's displacement. And then I entered after price respected this 1 minute fair value gap right here. I was like, okay, this is probably a lower high. We have an SMT with Euro USD, and then I entered on this 1 minute fair value gap right here. I'm targeting this low right here for break even, and then we're targeting the 1 hour fair value gap. I want to see this 15-minute bullish fair value gap get closed below. So if it's anything like this, that's good, but I just don't want to see it close above it or inside it. There is a 15-minute fair value gap up here. So depending how that plays out, I'll close it if it goes like above it consistently, but that is a level that we could see price head towards and hopefully respect. Could be coming into discount, but this is the area where I'd like to see the market reverse off this 15 minute. If it doesn't, then so be it. I could press sell right now, which I'm kind of keen to do. Alright, we're going to add a position short on GU. With the original position, if the one that's in a lot of drawdown goes up any further, like above that 15 minute, probably close it, but we'll let this one run more like something like this, because we entered around here. We can put our stop loss at this high and then target this low and that 1 hour fair value gap down here. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully this is the last like bullish push that we can see, and it starts hitting lower after filling this, after tapping into this breaker block and pulling into 50% of the swing range. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Okay, sweet. Hit TP, and I'm just gonna move all my position stop losses to break even. So bang, bang, and yeah, like I said, we're just gonna be targeting this 1 hour fair value gap down here. Might take a little partial, but I mainly just want to hold it. I want to read you guys a verse that I'm currently up to in the Bible. So it's Matthew 12:43. When an impure spirit comes out of a person, it goes through the arid places seeking rest and does not find it. Then it says, I will return to the house I left. When it arrives, it finds the house unoccupied, swept clean and put in order. Then it goes and takes itself with 7 other spirits more wicked than itself, and they go in and live there. The final condition of that person is worse than the first. This is how it will be with this wicked generation. The answer is to always read this, because if we're in our word every day, it's much harder for demons to attack us. But when we try to do it ourselves and be self-righteous and pretend that we don't need this book, I don't need this book, I have discipline, I have consistency, I've got a strong mind. That's when you find yourself in that situation where you might see cleanliness, success and consistency, but then you fall down even harder because ultimately you don't have this. When you have this and you're in your word every day, you're protected. Let me give you an example, because what this parable has just said has happened to me before, and it looks something like this. I was in a slump, depressed, anxiety, staying up late, watching social media all day, being unproductive. I started reading this word. I started reading this book. It gave me life. It gave me motivation to change my life. But here's the thing. I didn't keep reading it. For 1 or 2 days, I read it, and I started getting up earlier. I started exercising. I started doing good things for my life. But after a couple days, I felt confident. I felt like I didn't need this. And after not doing this and trying to be self-accountable, which isn't a bad thing ultimately, you should be accountable, but if you rely only on yourself and not the word, then you're always going to fall down. Because a little bit after I stopped reading this and I kept trying to do this self-improvement, like trying to make my life better, I found myself in that same season of depression, that same season of unproductivity, that same season of not being the best version of myself. It always leads back to this. It always leads back to reading this, man. It's a valid argument to say, yo, you should be 100% self-accountable. Yo, you should rely on yourself because nobody else is coming to save you. But this can save you. Reading this every day can save you. Genuinely. If you don't believe me, do it. If you don't do it, it's not my fault or my problem, because like I said, everything is 100% on you. This is life. This is where I've seen the most growth. This is how I stay consistent. The days where I'm not consistent, or the days where I fall down from my grind or from my self-improvement, or the days I lose consistency or momentum, is when I'm not in this. When I start listening to my thoughts, when I start listening to my emotions. I wake up, got two options. Either read this or scroll on this. The moment I pick up this and scroll on this first and don't get any of this in, that's when things like laziness, lust, and everything else that's bad tempts me. When I read this and I start my day with this, it protects me, it gives me life, and helps me overcome things which I can't overcome by myself. But yeah, that's the yarn. But yeah, let's see how this trade plays out. I got this feeling, I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I got this feeling, I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I got this feeling, I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I wanna be where you are. I got this feeling, I wanna be where you are. Alright, STP. I'm gonna close a little bit. This one right here. Boom. And then we're gonna close on the funded account as well. Bang. Alright, we managed to push a little bit lower. So I'm gonna close a little bit more on this position. 0.07. And then I might just close this fully and we'll call that a day. Bang. There we go, boys. $50 into $100. Could I have held it longer? Yeah, potentially. We could have held it all the way until sell side, but I'm just taking it, bro. I'm taking it.